Hello everybody, this is going to be an achieve hunt for the game Primal Survivors. I'm playing it on Windows, but there is an Xbox stack. Yeah, this has been provided to me by Aphil Games, who I am partnered with. It comes out today, on the 20th of June. So we're going to get straight into it. So start the clock. So it should be mentioned that there is a mislabeled achievement at the moment, and because of how the game works, I will be adding in the achievements that I've got after each playthrough. Anyway, yeah, there is a mislabeled achievement, which is or currently mislabeled achievement as its launch day, which the devs are aware of, and that is the Kong achievement. Now, the achievement description does say that it requires you to defeat Kong in Primal Spirits mode, but that is actually incorrect. What it actually requires is for you to do it in Cursed Spirits mode. And the Kong boss is the one that appears at the 15-minute mark. So if I get there on this playthrough without any of the upgrades, you'll see that I reach the Kong boss at the 15-minute mark that you will see when the timer gets there. And there is a boss every 5 minutes. The first one is a King Wasp, which has an achievement to defeat it. There is also a boss at 10 minutes, which is the Mammoth boss. And as I said, the Kong boss is at the 15-minute mark. Now, there are many achievements in this game. I think there's like 20 or 30 of them. Many of which are very simple. Like destroying a certain amount of enemies, destroying a certain amount of specific types like these bushes and these snakes. I think there's like 3 or 4 each for the snakes and the bushes themselves. And then there's a couple of achievements for reaching levels, like level 5, level 10. Now, obviously this is my first game of this on this version. But after you've gain some bones, which you see at the top right corner just below the timer, not my timer, the actual in-game timer, you can upgrade your character so that, for example, you can pick up these meat XP things from a longer distance. You can also have certain effects like have better XP gain, you know, much more likelihood to freeze an enemy or burn an enemy or whatever, you know, things like that. And faster attacks and things like that. In the Cursed Spirits mode, of course, which is the other main game mode, there is you have cursed items, which, for example, may say that every second you have a 5% chance of having your movement speed decreased by 50 seconds, or by 5 seconds. 50% for 5 seconds, for example. And one thing I do remember is that there is an achievement for destroying one of those spiked bushes as well, which you'll probably get as you play through, with the spirits and everything as you get stronger. But that is something to keep in mind. Apologies for yawning, by the way. I'm a very tired Dwaggy today. Let's do the fire burn. Had a freaking email pop up. That doesn't help. Yeah, I tried running this game in windowed mode and it absolutely refuses to, which is really frustrating. And as I said earlier, here's the first boss, King Wasp. Now, if you play the bonfire mode, which is 10 minutes instead of 15 minutes, I believe this boss only has 1 health bar. But on this mode, I think he has 2. As you can see, when you're in a boss, the timer pauses. It's 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 second if you're on the final boss of the area. I'll be honest with you, I'm not expecting to successfully do this first run, simply because it's I don't have any of my upgrades. But if I manage to do so, fantastic. Okay, well, there's the achievement for destroying a fire bush. Okay, yeah. So on the 50-minute, they do have 2 health bars. And when you get onto their second health bars, they will start doing different attacks as well. Like, for example, he's now going along the side. He was going along the bottom, rather. And his spike thing here is much... it has many more spikes in it than his first health bar version. So it's basically the flaming version of the boss. You see he's on fire now. And that's not fire that I've given, it's just indicating that it is... the second version of the boss. This big bug needs to die. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, my attack is not strong on my first run through. Yeah, Spike Bones is a good one. Yeah, Spike Bones is a really useful thing when you're playing against I see. Here's a new attack that he only does on the second motion. So I just lost my mud shield and an extra life then because there's no okay, that's the King Veteran Hunter 60G there. That's King Wasp defeated. Okay, so now we've got our double weapon. And we've got piercing as well. Thanks to one of the upgrades that we got in the thing. So we can now start really doing some significant damage because it'll damage the enemies and go through to hit the next one behind them as well. So you're effectively doubling your damage, which means you're doubling your XP input as well, assuming you can pick up the XP meats that get drops. There is an ability which we haven't come across yet, which I'm a little disappointed about, where we can gain like skeletal. Here he is, Necromancer. There we go. Collect 200 enemy souls to summon Skeletal Warrior, and there is another one after, and he'll do 150% of whatever your damage is. And there is another one after that where you can have the same thing but summon up to 200 souls requiring for each skeleton. And that really helps against the final boss. And there is even one after that. No, I tell a lie. There is an upgrade as well, which will allow you to sacrifice one of those skeletal warriors to, instead of dying, you get to sacrifice it in place, so it dies instead of you. So technically, that does give you an extra life, which is really helpful. Especially against the Kong boss, because the Kong boss is frustrating, to say the least. But it doesn't matter if you do actually lose, you will still get to keep the souls that you have accumulated. See, here's the Skeletal Warrior that you see, he's just appeared now. There he is. So these spike things can really do some useful damage in swarms. Not gonna lie though, using the upgrade to get the XP range grabber, it's so much more useful. It really is. You level up so much more quickly because you don't have to be as near to the meat, so you can just keep moving and killing as many enemies as you can without having to. I've got 60G for reaching level 15. That's another achievement. Again, we will catch up with what I've earned after this playthrough, because so many achievements pop in the first go round. Well, if you're good anyway. If you die early, then of course they won't. Come on, skeleton, kill the mammoth. Not the mammoth, the big bugs. I'm amazed I haven't had the mud shot upgrade yet. Where if you have the mud shield, which I currently do, I believe it fires a projectile every second, I think it is. 60G, Survivor Master. Survived for 9 minutes in the same game. There's the mud shot. Shoot 1 projectile per second while mud shot is active. These things can really level you up quickly, these green flying cocoon bug things. I don't even know what you'd call these things. The big ones take a few hits though. Okay, here's the mammoth boss. Now, sometimes, if you're lucky, the mammoth can get stuck on things and it will just keep running in place. I don't know what triggers it, but it is a bug that I did experience 2 or 3 times when playing the Xbox version. Again, I don't know what triggers it. I wish it did, because then I'd use it. Because he literally just stands there until you finish killing him. Which is really useful, I'm not going to lie. But I don't know how it triggers. I don't know if he gets caught on a tree or what, but yeah, sometimes he gets completely stuck. He doesn't know what he's doing. Notice I'm stopping firing every time he moves so I can make sure he doesn't hit me. I highly advise doing that if you're doing what I'm doing and playing the 15-minute on your first playthrough. It'll take longer, but it means at least he won't be able to tackle you. And you never know, you might be lucky and you might get stuck. Of course, you are going to have to deal with his second health bar as well if you go straight to this version. And he will summon. I want to say he summons earthquakes, but I could be wrong on that. I don't remember. Oh, is he stuck? No, he's not. I thought he was. Okay, right. Here's his second form. Or his second mode. Ah, yes. He fires dirt balls at you. That's what it is. And then he sets up the poison clouds, which obviously you want to avoid. I would love it if he got stuck. It would make this so much easier. Here come the dust balls. Is he dust balling again? Yes, he is. Also, by the way, it is my opinion that the best weapon in the game is bones. I mean, they're 8 damage, and to be honest, you can get stronger ones, but it requires melee and bollocks. And you really don't want to be going up against that. So definitely the first thing I recommend. You can have one R5 item and 2 of everything else. So I highly recommend buying increased player damage by 1 level. So for 12,500 bones, you basically can get 5 damage extra per hit. That really makes a difference. And I would also suggest getting where is it? Attack speed as well. Another one. This is the one I was on about. Now, you can't really do this until you go through the main thing. It'll cost 250,000, and whilst that seems a lot, if you go through a full 15 minutes thing, you're looking at maybe getting well over 1 million bones just by playing one game. So, and then you've got this one, which is reduce max HP by 2, which will bring you down to 1 HP. But there is a spirit which increases by 3. So effectively, if you use that spirit and pick up this R3 here, you can basically get 50% more damage as long as you use a spirit and still have 1 extra HP. So increase collect radius. This is what I was on about. That's the XP collect. So I'm going to 5 level that. And there was one here. Increases experience level 10% by each level. So I can only afford 3 of those right now, but that's still 30% extra experience. So yeah, we'll go with those. You will have got an achievement for buying an upgrade as well. So we're going to do that mode again. And the one I was on about, here you go. See, 250,000. The Bear Spirit, plus 3 HP, and reduces an additional second of HP regeneration cooldown whenever you're standing still. I mean, I would say, in my personal opinion, that's the best spirit in the game. Others may disagree, but it's what I think. Right, so we'll use the... Yeah, we'll use the tiger one this time. And we'll give it another go. So now we've got a larger XP collection range. You'll see now we don't have to go hardly anywhere near them to collect the XP, you see? It's a much longer distance, and it makes leveling up so much easier because you can pretty much just walk in the swarms when you're going through. And it's just so much easier. You don't have to go into swarms. The XP will mostly just come to you. See? There's the mud shield. And because we get an extra XP as well because of that, granted I think it's only 30 additional percent XP that we're getting at the moment, but still, it all adds up quickly. Haunted Spirit on Mud Shot. Let's do the Haunted Spirit first. And notice we got the player damage now, so instead of doing 2s and 3s, I'm doing 7s. You see? And I forgot to add on the HP that I'd already. The achievements I already added. Never mind, you can still assume that they are counting. Die 10 times, survive 10 minutes, defeat Kong on Cursed Spirits, and defeat the Killer Wasp on Cursed Spirits as well. Right, we are going to do... let's take Great Strength, 25. So the reason we're doing this mode again, even though we need to do Cursed, is that this mode will give us a lot of points, or a lot of bones. And also there is a title update announced, which is survive 15 minutes and kill snakes and bees and things. But that update isn't out yet. But effectively, if you're doing what I'm doing in this, you will kill 55 or 65 total snakes and bees. And obviously you will survive 15 minutes by killing Kong. So, on Cursed, even though the achievement says Primal, it doesn't work on Primal. It has to be on Cursed. So, like dual weapon but 25% damage. So effectively that's 175% multiplier. Because you're doing double your weapon. So you're doubling weapon 200 and then you take 25% away. So... 25% damage, plus 20% knockback, plus 20% weapon size. So that level up makes up for that 25% that we lost on the double weapon. Now they're clustered together, we can come back and start getting the XP from these for quick level ups. We will take projectiles pierce +1 because that means that's basically giving us double damage for swarms, because it means the weapon is now going through an enemy doing the same damage to a second enemy, so that is basically doubling your attack when they're swarmed, so that's definitely better. So I mean, look how quickly that swarm of bees just got took down. 20% attack speed, 20% in movement damage, 15% in extra damage. Yes, please. Okay, we'll take the 20% critical damage and distance is projectiles pierce +1, so that will go from a double to a triple for swarms. Oh, look at that, it's just demolishing swarms. Look at that, it's like just beats them back. Holy shit. Look at that. That pierce is OP. It is majorly OP. Because what the game normally does is it will normally use swarm as enemies to defend against the people behind them. But if you've got double pierce like I have, I mean, I'm a pierce of definitely +2, possibly +3, I'm not sure. It's just ridiculous. Right, This is another one as well. Plus 5% attack speed per second while attacking. Maximum 100%. So it will double your attacks basically across 20 seconds. Once you've been attacking, and if you have auto fire on, which I do in the options, if you're just moving around for 20 seconds, that's doubling your damage again. I mean, look what this is doing to the swarms. It's just literally demolishing them. I mean, look how fast this dude's damage is going down. HP is going down. Thanks to the speed that we've now got on this guy. This is what I mean. The upgrades just... if you get the right things, it's absolutely disgusting. Like every 5th attack does double damage. Increase poison chance by 15 and poison damage by 2. Critical strike increases movement speed by 20% for 5 seconds. Doesn't stack. So I would say the double damage every 5th attack really starts adding up, especially if you've got fast speed like I do. For the attacking, once you've been attacking for 20 seconds or more, it really, really starts to add up disgustingly quick. Here's an example. Look at the damage we're doing to this bush just straight away. Look how fast it's going up, see? Nothing stands a chance. And then we can do 25% enemies. So every 4th enemy, basically 25% chance to create spike bones, which can do up to 25 damage to anything that walks over it. Across 5 seconds. And then with our combined speed and attacks, it's like we don't even really need the scythe enemies at this point, although they would be a great advantage. But look at the bones go up quickly just because of how quickly we're defeating these enemies. And that's not even the... these are the weak enemies as well. It's just to say that I'm now OP with the speed and damage bonuses and more specifically the pierces. The pierces are really what does the difference here. There we go. We'll get our skeletal warriors now. Or our first skeletal warrior. Soon I can survive the end of this, which I'm hoping so. I'm in good stead at the moment. Let's go burning. So that'll actually really help against the mammoth boss, I feel. And if you keep going in a single direction every now and then, you will find a kind of like stone totem pedestal thing, which does have what I can only describe as area of effect triggers. Like there's one that does like poison rain, there's one that does tornadoes all over the place, there's one that summons there's one that summons like a really strong earthquake around you for a few seconds, which just demolishes anything that moves. And from my gameplay experience in this game, I don't think that there is any border to the area. I honestly think that the game it either manually wraps around or it procedurally generates. I'm not sure which. But I have tried going in one direction completely. I said I think it probably wraps around, but I'm not sure. And that's why I'm just going in one direction, just to see. Here's the big XP bug, so let's kill these, get some XP levels. Scythe, there we go. How have I not got the scythe yet? Jesus. A mammoth. 2%, 100% damage in distant enemies, 20% in closer enemies. Let's do. %, in distant enemies is probably better, and it does give us a decent attack range as well. Obviously, we died to the mammoth last time because we didn't have our upgrades. And how many bones did we get last time? Like 80,000 or something? Look, we're already at 98,000. And the bones really start to accumulate when you get into the last 5 minutes of this game mode, of this run. We just need to get past this mammoth first. See what I mean about the damage, how it's starting to accumulate now. We're killing him much quicker than we was the first time. Please die now. Thank you. One HP or let's take the shield. Now you see the bones starting to accumulate quickly. Generate an impact wave causing 30% in damage. I haven't seen that, but okay. So these dark green, I don't know what you call them, rhino bugs, I guess. Projectiles pierce +3. And that basically sextuples our base damage in swarms. Look at that. It's just, it's dead. Everything's dead because our pierce is now like, our pierce is at like, what, 6 now? It's not even funny. It's not even close. And these dark green ground bugs give so much XP. %in damage. 10% weapon size. Yeah, we'll take that because that's more damage and that's going to be massively multiplied as well. I mean, look how much XP we're getting. Look how quickly our bar is leveled. Just boom, like that. There's the thing that I mentioned earlier about the additional skeletal warriors. Just look at this. Just boom, boom, boom. Level up straight away. It's disgusting how overpowered you can become if you get the right bits. I mean, look at all this XP just waiting for us to pick it up just by running because of the sextuple pierce that we have. I mean, look at this. All we have to do is kill things and move, and level ups all over the place. It's disgusting. The pierce, I would say, in this game is the most overpowered thing because enemies will spawn off screen, and even if you can't see them, you're still killing them. Oh, that minus 20% damage close enemies is really caused me an issue. But look at the bones collection now, though. That's not a very good upgrade, to be honest. I really need something that gives me extra health. So I might die at this moment. Okay, every 10 attacks summons a tornado that deals 5 damage per second in 5 seconds. So that's basically another spike, but it is every 10 attacks, and that's going to happen really quickly now. Because of how quickly my attacks are. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Tornado, 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 all over the place. Look, remember what I said about collecting the bones on this? Look, we're nearly at 1,000,000 now. There's the million bones just from one level, and we've still got a minute left. And we're not even at the final boss yet. Just the piercing is just so overpowered. And I would just like to point out, just remember, we're not even at full upgrades either. Yeah, we didn't even have any R3 or R4 or R5 upgrades. Look at this, 1.4 million now. Just look how quickly these are going up with Bones Collection. Look at this. 1.5 million. I mean, even if we lose this... Ah, see, look, here's the pedestal thing that I was on about earlier. See, pedestals. You just touch them and it starts doing whatever it is. I mean, look at the Bones Collection. Look at this. 1.7, 1.8 million. And here's the Kong boss. What this guy will do is he will occasionally fire bananas, which can hit you. But that doesn't matter that we lost that, because we don't need to beat Kong on that game mode. But look at that. 1.8 million bones. Now we can upgrade to what we want. So, we can buy this. Summon a... sacrifice a summon to prevent death. Only one time allow per level. So we can have 5 summons, if you remember. We can have the spirit, that's 1. We can have the scythe that spins around, that's 2. And you can have 3 skeletals, which is 5. So effectively that gives you 5 extra lives, assuming you've got those spirits, for 250,000. Okay. And then we've got this. Reduce max HP by 2. Which is only one time. It removes it one time, but you can increase your damage up to 50%. Increased damage, I should say. And you can also do reduces number of souls needed to summon by 10. So that would, what that would do is it makes the summons for the skeletons down to 150. The scythes down to 50, I think it is, and the spirit down to 50. However, I would recommend not doing that because you kill so many enemies, it's really, really not worth it. Now, Blade of the Wind, plus 10% damage per level. So that's basically doubling your damage if you have that and that. Corrupted Soul and that. So I would advise doing that. Your other option for R5, Earthquake you don't really need, Acceleration of Burning, Accelerating of Blizzard. So I would definitely recommend picking up Blade of the Wind R5. So that means, look, with what we've got, we can have 1 more R3 and 2 R4s. So I would say... reduce Mud Shield regeneration time by 10 seconds per level. So if you remember rightly, it takes 2 minutes naturally to gain it. This would bring it down to 1 minute 10. So nearly half. So I would grab that. And then we got 2 R4s. So reduces number of souls. You could do that. Roots Retriever, I never use that one. Increased burn damage by 1 per level, so that's 5 burn damage. So everything that gets burned, you're adding 15 damage to it. So I would pick that up. And for R4, the other R4, we can leave that. I just want to just double check something. That costs 250. Okay, that costs 250,000. Does that still cost 250,000 in cursed mode? 300,000. Perfect. Okay. So now we know that. Let's grab. Where are you? Reduce the number of souls. So now you can see in our upgrades we're full. And now we're going to go to Classic Cursed, and we're going to unlock the Cursed Bear. 20% XP gained plus 3 HP. So what that does is that negates the -2 that we have. So we've got like double damage, triple speed, and you notice the curse here is a 5% chance per second. So that's basically once every 20 seconds, it'll give or take, it'll reduce your movement speed by half or by 50% for 5 seconds. Now, if you've got the piercing, which we have, that shouldn't do much. That shouldn't hurt you. So now we are super strong with our upgrades. This should be an easy finish. So we're going to start with the piercing attack for 20. Oh, there was something I forgot to do. Give me a second, I'm silly. I forgot to upgrade the increases experience collected. Right, now let's do what we were doing. So now we do have full XP collection. There you go. See the difference? So mud shield already. So that basically gives us a... Well, I shouldn't need to describe that to you. Okay, let's see. Every 3 attacks, we'll grab that one. Look how quickly we're leveling up though because of our skills. Let's do poison shot. But yeah, the piercing, you have to remember effectively if your attacks are being pierced, what that means is that you are effectively doubling your damage because each shot is hitting, assuming they're in a swarm, is hitting 2 enemies, not 1. So you are effectively doubling your output, doubling your XP, doubling everything. Okay, now we're going to do 25% damage, which will severely increase our capacity. And remember, because we had the upgrade for the spirits, what the hell is that? Every second, poison enemies have a 20% chance. So every 5 seconds, they can poison another enemy. Great. Give the fear a pandemic in them. Yeah, look, we're not even 2 minutes in, and we're already at level 7. Granted, the slowdown movement is a bit of a curse, but brute force or double weapon. 10%, okay, 25 in damage, or if we double our weapon, that doubles our damage, and then 25% damage less. So yeah, we can afford that. Double damage. So two bones now. There's the spikes, we'll take those. So the 2 achievements that we're going for in this run, and 3 if the title update is out when you watch this video, is the 15 minutes, killing Kong, and killing Kong which at the moment the achievement description says killing Kong on Primal, but it's actually wrong. You have to kill Kong on Cursed. And killing the Killer Wasp on Cursed as well. Poisoned enemies have a 25% chance to drop a gas on the ground when defeated, which poisons the enemy that steps on it. Yep, that'll do. Ah, see, that's the gas there. When two infected grounds collide, creates an acid rain, deals plus 5 damage per second for 5 seconds. So that's 25 damage to everything. Yeah, let's take that. There's the acid rain, look at that. You see what I mean about this build though? It's just so overpowered. We do need to start spawning the next enemy now, because we need some XP or more damage or whatever. Poison shot that poisons the enemy creates a wave of poison with 25% damage or critical. Yeah, we'll do more poison. Poison everything. There's the Killer Wasp. Rip those wasps. Oh, he took me out my mud shield. So now he's going to do his horizontal thing. Yep, there we go. Because I got such a massive preference to poison in this run, I actually went for the poison instead of the 5th attack does double damage, because that'll just create far more acid rains and poison. Right, there's our scythe. Which we'll get very quickly with, now we've got the -50 on it. See, there it is already. Plus 20% damage to distant enemies. Really use my blooming skeletal enemies though, I'm not gonna lie. Or skeletal allies, I should say. Really use some piercing as well, to be honest. Because the piercing would really help against the slowdown. Here we go, here come the big bugs. Really, it's not giving me any piercing this game, is it? Ugh. Okay, here comes the mammoth, which really doesn't help me at this moment. Form 1 done. Still don't have my skeletal enemies, which is frustrating. Skeletal alloys even. He's dead. There we go, Skeletal Warrior. There we go, projectiles pierce, there we go. Well, that'll double our damage a bit. There, that piercing really starts to help. Look at the difference. See, there's the earthquake pedestal that I was on about earlier. Projectiles pierce +1. Yeah, we'll have that. That triples my damage. Projectiles pierce +3. I would be insane not to do that. But attack speed per second. Let's see. Attack speed will double my attacks, but that would take 20 seconds. Well, projectile pierce +3 -20%. That's -20, but +300 effectively. I would be insane not to do that. And now things are going to start getting disgustingly easy. That is definitely the most broken ability in the game. Projectile pierce +3. I mean, look at this on the left. We've got, what, 5 times pierce now, I think? Just, oh, it's disgusting. There we go. Necromancers, I'm probably not going to get it. I might get a second one just before the time runs out, if I'm lucky. I was trying to avoid the bananas that Kong throws, honestly. And Kong is dead. It says Primal victory, but it's actually Curse victory. Right, so we'll just... Right, we need to, I believe, just die a total of 10 times. So we'll quickly go into just a game, and we'll do that by running into a bush or an enemy or something. Yeah, there we go. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's the last achievement. So we'll stop the clock just temporarily because I want to make sure that everything has popped as it's supposed to. So just bear with me a second. I just want to check. View profile. Show all. Yep, and it has popped to 1000G. There is a 2000G title update yet to take it from 1000 to 2000, but that is actually not currently active. But anyway, that has been the base 1000G for Primal Survivors on Windows. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much, and I hope my builds help you.